We are coming up on 7:59 on your Thursday morning drive. A look at several vantage points across the metro area. That's I-5 up near the Interstate Bridge. Slow and steady there, of course. Interstate 84 in that panel. And there's a live look at the Sylvan Hill. The drive is in full swing. Right now, your I-205 commute, 20 minutes or 22 minutes to get you from Patton Parkway to the Banfield. And south of town, the trip in from Wilsonville, just shy of 40 now to get you in to the Markham Bridge. Rod?
Well, so far, the weather, it's been raining on and off through the morning commute, but we've kind of avoided the heavier rain rates so far here in the valley. We are seeing a shot of heavy rain right now. This is between north of Tillamook and now outside of Cannon Beach, moving up into the Coast Range. I caught these folks out in their rain gear this morning. That's down in Lincoln County, where it's raining at the end of Otter Crest. So certainly it's a great day everywhere. Here's the Wells Fargo viewpoint. 55 degrees, currently not raining at the airport, but rain shots will keep coming at us all the way into tonight. Temperatures in the 50s to about 60 degrees. Not as breezy as it was yesterday.
Now at 8 o'clock, the latest impact of the government shutdown, a cut down on flights at some of the busiest airports in the country, including here in Portland. We'll have a live report from the airport coming up.
And one local artist is using his skills to help people struggling during the government shutdown. How he's trying to get donations of pet food and other supplies.
Rain is our main weather headline today, but we're also talking about king tides at the coast, when the strongest of those tides is expected to hit. The 8 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
Talking about those king tides has me wanting to call you Queen China.
I like that.
Queen China here, Drew Carney right here, and how about King Chris and King Rod? There they are,
all right,
wearing their crowns on this
regal.
Thursday.
Joker.
By the way, if you're wondering, are the king tides, are they impacted when you have a storm set up? And the answer is yes. The sea's coming in 15 to 16 feet, and then you got the king tides making that even higher with the potential kind of beach erosion in some of the low-lying areas are typical problem spots along the coast. So keep your distance today if you're going to be at the beach. More rain is going to keep coming all the way into tonight. The rain picture today very similar to yesterday. So some dry time, some showers, some heavier rain pockets mixed in. 55 raining in Salem. Downtown Portland just getting a bit of a break right now. 55 is our temperature. It's a south wind that won't be as breezy as it was or as gusty as yesterday, but we're still going to be plenty warm. 58 degrees at noon. Maybe we hit 60. Yesterday it was 63. It still looks like starting tomorrow the weather quickly calms down. The weekend still looks great. Here's Chris McGinnis.
That's going to be the first time in, I think you mentioned, 4 weekends where we get some dry weather. All right, let's get you out the door. Of course, Rod mentioned it's raining, it's slow. There's I-5 right there at SR 14. There's if you look closely, that's the spires of the Interstate Bridge. So that is slow and steady out of Clark County to the tune of 33 minutes now. Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Over on the east side, Banfield, again, pretty thick coming in from 82nd Avenue. That, of course, Interstate 84. And pretty slow at the Sylvan Hill as well, Highway 26. Puttering along there, getting past Skyline Boulevard. At last check, one of our slower commutes, the drive-in from Wilsonville now has spiked up to 40 minutes at last check. That's from Wilsonville Road to the Markham Bridge. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. We want to get back to the breaking news we've been covering all morning here on Sunrise. It comes from Northeast Portland. That's where police say they had to use force to stop a man who was running around naked and carrying a gun in the Lloyd district. Calls came in about the man just before 9:45 last night. Officers say they searched the area and found him near Northeast Grand and Multnomah Street.
That's when police say that they heard a gunshot and say that the man took off running. One officer hit the suspect with a patrol vehicle, knocking him to the ground, but then he got up and kept running. So this is video of the scene from earlier this morning. Officers say after the man got back up, they then used a taser to take him out and into custody. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and remains in police custody this morning. Investigators say they did recover a handgun at the scene, and the officer who struck the man with the vehicle is on paid administrative leave, which is standard policy.
All right, just 3 weeks away from the Thanksgiving travel rush, and the FAA and Department of Transportation announced they're cutting down on flights all across the U.S. because of the government shutdown.
They say a growing number of air traffic controllers working without pay have been calling out. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson is live at the airport this morning. So Corey, we know PDX is on the list of airports facing cuts to flights.
That's right, China. PDX is included on that long list of about 40 high market Airports that are impacted by the cuts. Now, a lot of flights are likely to be canceled as the FAA reduces air traffic by 10%. They announced that on Wednesday afternoon. Now, the cuts, again, are happening across dozens of high-volume markets, including here at PDX, and that begins Friday. Federal officials announced the cuts, saying the move would affect roughly 3,500 to 4,000 flights daily. Now, they're citing growing fatigue among air traffic controllers who have worked without pay since the government shutdown began on October 1st, working 6 days a week with mandatory overtime.
If I was an air traffic controller right now and I hadn't been paid in a month, I'd probably be looking for something else to do as well.
If I were employed as either of those, I probably wouldn't have a job because I probably wouldn't show up, because if I haven't been able to feed my family for over a month, then I need to find a job that I can work.
Now, we spoke with several air travelers this morning, like the ones that you just heard from, who say that they're frustrated by this news, but they definitely understand the predicament that air traffic controllers are currently in. Now, Seattle, Tacoma, San Diego, and San Francisco International airports are all included on that list that are expected to have some reductions, along with PDX. Drew?
Yeah, we keep thinking, Corey, about the fact that Thanksgiving is now just 3 weeks away, so big story there for sure. All right, SNAP benefits also remain in limbo because of the shutdown, but lots of local businesses and community groups have stepped up to help.
One group is trying to help out pet owners. So some bags of pet foods, as you know, can cost like $80. So to help those hurt by SNAP cuts, local artist Mike Bennett is holding a community event to paint the world's longest dachshund. He's partnering with Pet Pat PDX and the Filling Station Pet Supplies. Next Tuesday, November 11th, volunteers will paint a 130-foot dog around a building in a parking lot by Bennett's studio while donating pet foods for families in need.
They're going to feed their pet before they're going to feed themselves. And that's really sad, and especially if they're older or have children, and many of our folks do have kids.
And not being able to get what their dogs need, can be really, scary and frustrating.
The event will be held on Northeast Fremont on Veterans Day from 11 to 3 p.m. Those who donate will get a paintbrush and a sticker made by Bennett. And hey, we also want to remind you that if you're looking for help or know someone who is, we have a growing list of local organizations that have stepped up to donate, fundraise, and give out free meals. So just text the word SNAP to 503-226-5088 and we will text you back with a link.
In an update this morning, the state of Oregon made its case to the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday in a huge test of President Trump's use of tariffs. The Solicitor General, arguing on behalf of the Trump administration, told the Supreme Court that the president has the authority to impose those tariffs as a way to conduct foreign affairs and negotiate trade deals. The administration also says it's all allowed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. But Oregon and other states, along with a group of U.S. businesses, argue there is no emergency. They also argue that the tariffs hurt Americans because of the higher price tag put on imports, saying that these tariffs really just amount to a huge tax and that only Congress is authorized to impose taxes, not the president.
I think the facts really speak for themselves, and I think this was compelling for the justices where no other president had ever used this power to try and implement tariffs. Every other president had used the appropriate statutes that Congress intended. I think that weighed heavily.
Two lower courts have already ruled against the White House in this case. It's not clear how long it will take the Supreme Court to reach its decision. All right, new this morning, police here identified the victim of a deadly shooting in downtown Portland this past weekend as 20-year-old Taylor Ritter of Gresham. The medical examiner confirmed he died from a gunshot, and investigators are treating his death as a homicide. Ritter was found dead on the ground on Southwest 3rd early Sunday morning. Anyone with information about the shooting should contact Portland police.
In Hillsborough, authorities say 2 men were found dead yesterday morning inside a home. Neighbors told us that they heard what sounded like gunshots, then saw a SWAT team show up at the house near Northeast 17th and Sunrise Lane.
They went into the house and they were escorting a young girl and maybe a couple of kids down to the end of the street.
Hillsborough police are asking anyone with information to please reach out.
Police arrested 3 people in connection with a deadly shooting in Vancouver last week. 40-year-old Jacob Hall was killed in the parking lot of the Alderbrook Apartments. Police now say the suspects planned to steal his car and shot him in the process. Tyrese Hammer, Christian Russell, and Lucy Montoya, all in their 20s, are in custody at this point and awaiting extradition to Clark County to face murder charges.
And Gresham police have arrested the man that they say pulled a weapon on a family in a Taco Bell drive-thru on Halloween. Thanks to tips from the public, authorities identified the suspect as David Mead Sr. right there. Police say now he didn't actually pull a gun, but what they're calling an air-powered self-defense device that looked like a gun. Mead is accused of pointing it at a car with a child inside when he was trying to cut the drive-thru line. On the coast, officials are warning people not to let their guard down with king tides over the next few days. At Cannon Beach yesterday, firefighters were out telling people not to get too close to the surf or turn their back on the ocean.
It's not so much the surf that we're worried about on the outside. It's that when we get the big surf or the swell that's coupled with the king tides, those sneaker waves will surge all the way up.
Officials say to expect the strongest waves the weekend, with the next round of king tides coming in December.
All right, Rodney Hill, let's get back to you in the Weather Center. I know that you have more information on that.
A quick word on Cannon Beach. It was in the 12:30 half hour that lightning strikes yesterday that had been offshore pushed inland up around in Clatsop County, Cannon Beach in particular. And one of those storms, thunderstorm gusts, 70 miles per hour. Now, it's interesting that if that were in the valley, we'd have all kinds of trees down and wind damage reports. But of course, the coast gets those types of winds typically from the south, from just, high winds along the beach. So I'm not really seeing much in the way of damage reports, but there were similar winds, at least higher than 50 miles per hour, that were up in the Long Beach area from another strong wind-making thunderstorm. That was shortly before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. The storm threat today is much lighter than yesterday, but this kind of lime-colored area on the map still shows at least a convection chance or thunderstorm chance up in Clatsop counties. We'll keep an eye on that. But again, generally the storm chance seems to be a lot lower, and I have not seen lightning offshore so far this morning. Yesterday I was seeing lightning. Heavy rain, speaking of, it's pouring every single inch of Clatsop County right now. Meanwhile, we've got a break in the action in downtown Portland, but you saw rain to our east, rain to our west, so the rain machine just keeps on going today. 55 out over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. The wet bricks in downtown Portland. This afternoon, 50s to about 60 degrees again with a mild day, producing occasional rain. South breezes, yes, but not as windy as yesterday. Still looks like tomorrow everything winds down and the shower activity tomorrow will be far less and eventually ends. That sets up, I'm showing off the dry weekend. Okay, here's Chris.
Celebrating there. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up on the west side. A crash right now on Cornelius Pass Road has southbound lanes closed just north of the intersection with Germantown. You can see some red and orange on the map here, so obviously they're alternating traffic through that intersection. If that's part of your drive here over the next little while, obviously expect some unusual or unexpected delays. What am I saying there? Expect some unexpected delays. Well, I'm telling you that, so hopefully you are now prepared for them. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up on the west side. Freeways inbound Highway 26, slow and steady at Sylvan. Your drive coming in from Hillsboro's jumped up to 37 minutes at last check. The I-5 Clark County commute is still there, still in full swing here over the Interstate Bridge. Right now it's 30 minutes to get you from Main Street to the Fremont. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. The Salem-Keizer School District says it's facing a $25 million budget gap and will have to make some cuts. Their plan to address the shortfall and how it will impact students in the district after the break.
Also coming up here on Sunrise, tackling safety in their neighborhood. What has some former pro footballers joining a different kind of squad.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The second largest school district in Oregon is preparing for more budget cuts.
We're talking about the Salem-Keizer School District, which says it's slashing its budget by at least $25 million next year. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us here in the newsroom with more on this. So Thomas, this is not new for the Salem-Keizer School District.
No, guys, unfortunately it's not. Families and educators have been here before, and it wasn't that long ago. Last year, Salem-Keizer cut $70 million and around 400 jobs. This go-round, district leaders say the cuts are due to a growing gap between revenue and expenses. In a letter to families, the school board says 95% of its operating funds go towards salary and benefits. They add costs are going up by about 9% each year. Last year, the school district narrowly avoided a teacher strike by agreeing to a 2-year deal, upping pay by $42 million. A strike, of course, would have closed schools. In a statement about the upcoming cuts, Superintendent Andrea Castaneda says, quote, "Our top priority will be protecting teaching and learning conditions for our students. We can look at options together and make hard decisions together." For years, Castaneda has pushed state lawmakers to better fund public schools. The legislature responded by giving schools record amounts of money in recent years, though some educators say it's still not enough to fully fund the education system. Salem-Keizer says the district will learn more about exactly how much will be cut in a couple of weeks when the state releases its updated economic forecast. That could mean even more than $25 million in cuts. Guys?
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning in the newsroom. From Thomas's face, we turn to Rodney's face. He's got the, there it is. Yes, look at it.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Not needed.
Thumbs sideways? Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that.
What we need is a forecast.
Yes. Let's start off with some winds yesterday. You know, a big part of the story yesterday was not only the rainy weather, but the gusty south winds, and the wind forecast generally turned out to be really good. Now, Cannon Beach, 70 mile per hour, but that was a thunderstorm gust, if you will. A lot of the beach stayed near to under 50 for just the south winds that were racing. Astoria also had a thunderstorm and a 50 mile per hour gust. And then remember, we're talking 40, maybe 45 mile per hour wind gust in the valley. That turned out to be right on the money. Salem 44, Hillsborough 41, PDX a gust of 36. Not as breezy or windy today, but still noticeably south winds blowing everything around at times, okay? Here's a look at current radar. It's not been as overall rainy this morning during the commute as it was yesterday morning, and Chris has been reporting traffic to be quite a bit better than 24 hours ago, so that's good news. But we do have some heavier rain starting to pick up on the west side coming in the sunset. So like yesterday, this will be occasional shots of rain just coming through. I think overall the rain picture today very similar to yesterday. Some breaks and then some downpours mixed in. The bright colors show the downpour threat later today. This is what, 6 p.m. There's a second system that comes in later today, and there will be showers behind that. But overnight tonight, so the system that comes in late today into early evening, that's the finale. So scattered showers should decrease in numbers overnight tonight. The threat of any stronger winds will be quickly gone. And then this shows a quiet morning on Friday with just a few showers around. And during the day, everything completely ends. So I still think by the drive home Friday afternoon and Friday night, the rain chances are kaput, and we are completely dry through your weekend. Everything's really wet right now because of the rain that just keeps coming through. 55, it's still a south wind. It's still really mild outside. It's 50 in Seattle, 55 in Salem. Well, it's 55, Kelso, Portland, Salem, Eugene, and Newport. How about that? Bend's 48. Burns is expected to stay dry today and cooler, partly cloudy and 37 this morning. So at the beach, still south winds 15 to 30 and still some gusts to about 40. We are seeing 30 mile per hour gusts currently at some of the reporting stations. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s. Could be another half an inch of rain plus in some areas come down today. Valley forecast, south winds mostly 10 to 25, but some peak gusts could crack 30. And we'll be up close to 60 again. Corvallis 60 degrees. Portland hit 63 yesterday, one of those dry windows we had in the afternoon with the south winds. 60 today, tomorrow really a pretty good day. It's going to seem really dry compared to what we have been seeing, and then completely dry The last 4 weekends have all been at least partially, if not completely wet. So this will be the first, it's been a month. It's been a month since we've had a completely dry weekend. So enjoy this Saturday, Sunday into Sunday night. Don't forget to stop your favorite weather person if you see them. Maybe it's Chris, and say, hey, thank you for the nice weekend. There he is.
Make a donation to the 401k. All right, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and pick it up with an overnight traffic alert. Heads up if you travel I-5 overnight tonight between downtown and Terwilliger Boulevard. ODOT is doing some sign bridge installation. I-5 will be closed, full closure, both directions between the Markham Bridge and Terwilliger overnight from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. The traffic solution to get around this, of course, will be Barber Boulevard. This is the first in a series of overnight closures for part of this work. We'll certainly keep you posted as each one comes up. All right, back to the here and now. Some trouble on the west side with a crash that has the southbound lanes of Cornelius Pass Road blocked right now near Germantown. So be on the lookout for the slowing getting around that as they alternate traffic through the closure. There's Highway 26, the inbound Sunset still slow and steady at the Sylvan Hill, and the drive coming in from Wilsonville looks better now than it did 10 or 15 minutes ago, but we're still averaging about 40 minutes to get you in from Wilsonville to downtown. China?
Thank you, Chris.
This job allows me to feel like I'm a part of something greater than myself, like I was when I was in the NFL.
Some former NFL players are trading the helmet for a sheriff's badge. After the break, we're headed to Florida, where some recruits working to protect the communities that they once played for.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Some former NFL players are starting a new position off the field.
NBC's Kathy Park has more on a sheriff's office in Florida that's giving these retired players a brand new career.
Police recruit Lavernius Coles is back on his home turf.
Born and raised right here in Jacksonville.
This time at age 47, he's traded in his helmet and shoulder pads for a badge and gun.
Deep for Coles. Caught it. Touchdown.
The former NFL wide receiver suiting up with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, protecting the same community where he grew up.
This job allows me to feel like I'm a part of something greater than myself, like I was when I was in the NFL.
He's not the only one joining this team. At least 7 other pro football players have joined a different kind of squad. And it's part of a clever recruiting effort to encourage more men and women to answer the call to service.
43, Cordell Stewart, intercepted by Jeff Kopp.
Detective Jeff Kopp is a former linebacker who played 3 seasons with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The people who called us is probably their worst day. And you just get to go in there and bring calm and peace, de-escalate the situation, and then just help people figure stuff out.
How does the academy compare to training camp?
It's different. There's a lot more running. You know, we didn't run as much in the NFL. Like, I ran more miles in the academy than I ever ran in my life.
So you have new respect for this job.
100%, a total new outlook on everything.
It's a totally natural fit. The pay's not as good as the NFL. But they're working on it, right? Right. He's laughing harder than me because he made a lot more than me.
Tackling a new career off the field.
It's giving me a sense of purpose, and I feel good about it.
Kathy Park, NBC News, Jacksonville, Florida.
Now to your morning rush. Representative Nancy Pelosi announced today in a video posted X that she will not seek re-election in 2026. While Pelosi stepped aside as a party leader 3 years ago, she continued to serve in the House as a rank and file member. The 85-year-old led her party in the House for 2 decades from 2002 to 2022, serving as an ally for President Barack Obama and Joe Biden. Political experts say her decision will spark a fierce contest for her liberal deep blue San Francisco seat. At least 2 California Democrats have already launched bids to replace her. The man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at protesters in Colorado over the summer pleaded not guilty yesterday. Mohammed Solomon was arrested in June after the attack on a group of people marching to raise awareness of Israeli hostages held in Gaza. 14 people were injured, including one who later died. Solomon faces murder, attempted murder, and hate crime charges. And you still have a chance to be a multi-millionaire. The Mega Millions jackpot now stands at an estimated $843 million. No winning tickets were sold, matching all 6 numbers in Tuesday night's big drawing. So this is the 8th largest jackpot in Mega Millions history. The next drawing will take place late Friday night, and that's your Morning Rush.
And it felt like a bomb dropping on our car.
A local family is counting their blessings after a piece of concrete came off the viaduct connected to the Morrison Bridge in downtown Portland and fell onto their car. Coming up at 8:30, more from the family, and we're also going to hear from Multnomah County, which basically says the bridge is fine. Nothing to worry about here. Also in our next half hour, another live report from the Portland Airport, one of many airports across the country dealing with flight reductions this month because of the government shutdown. The Sunrise Show continues in 3 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. A man is in custody this morning after police say he was running around naked and armed with a handgun in Northeast Portland. When officers spotted him around Northeast Grand and Multnomah Street, they say that they heard a gunshot and then the man took off running. At one point, an officer hit the suspect with a police vehicle, but the suspect took off again. Officers eventually used a taser on the man and took him into custody. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
You know, very quietly, it's not been as wet overall this morning in terms of we haven't had that many heavy rain pockets. And lately, the heavy rain pockets that have hit the coast have been fading over the coast range. Now, with that said, I mean, there's still plenty of rain to be found. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha, 55 degrees. The temperature, it's another mild day. It won't be as windy today, but the occasional shots of rain will keep coming. Temperatures will be in the 50s, getting up to about 60 degrees. And we're still watching at least a threat of some lightning. The best chance of that, again, will be over toward the north coast. Tomorrow, showers, a few in the morning, ending during the day. And for the first time in a month, we have no rain chance Saturday night, or Sunday.
Hey, Sunrise Gang, you want a little excitement to start this half hour?
Oh, yes.
All right, here it comes. Coming up in 90 minutes at 10 o'clock, the Expo Center doors will fly open. Wow. And the 67th annual Portland Metro Dealers Fall RV Show will begin. It's happening today. It's running through Sunday. Doors open at 10 a.m. all 4 days of the show. You can find more information at portlandmetrorv.com. Doors will fly open, China Green.
Oh, it's tiny.
I like that little one.
Can we go back there, Brian?
We can afford that one.
Is it the little one that you could hook up to like a bug?
I could hug it.
I missed it, kind of.
It was tiny. We could all get into it, I think.
Wait a minute.
Maybe.
Can we see it?
Brian Matthews is not going to go back to that dirty dog.
Can we can't see it. Gosh, darn it.
Oh, yeah, Brian says we just can't do it. All right, is it time to do weather? What we got going on? Yeah, it is time to do weather. All right, Brian Matthews, our director, is a weather fan. All right, we have rain pushing inland. And again, there's a second weather system. It's out here. It doesn't come in until later this afternoon. So the occasional shots of rain just keep coming all the way through the afternoon commute into early evening. Salem Sky Camera noticing for the first time we are losing leaves. Yesterday, Salem had a wind gust of 44 miles per hour. Still some rain currently down in Marion County, 55 degrees. I shouldn't say still because we are expecting occasional shots of rain to continue today. I really think the rain picture overall will be pretty similar to yesterday. There'll be some dry time, but more wet time than dry time. 55 is the number out of PDX. We'll be in the upper 50s to about 60 degrees. The winds did peak at about 40 miles per hour on average yesterday in the valley. Today we think the peak winds will be closer to 30, so not quite as blustery. I don't see rain out in Burns. I see very limited rain chances later today out in Baker County. But it will be raining at times in Central Oregon, 56 degrees out in the Dalles, rain up through the gorge as well. It'll be wet over Cascade Passes. So today's high about 60. Again, not as windy, thunderstorm chance far less, but still occasional rain. We expect scattered showers on the radar tomorrow morning, but no wind, and during the day those showers will come to an end. So all dry Friday night, all dry Saturday, all dry Sunday. Rain shower chances pick back up during the day on Monday, but it could be Wednesday or Thursday of next week before we get back into any substantial rain. So once we get through really today, Chris, things start to dry out.
Yeah, it's a bit soggy. All right, all things considered, the drive not as bad as it was yesterday morning at this time for sure. That said, there still are plenty of slow spots. The drive into Wilsonville up and over the Boone Bridge is still pretty thick. Once you get there, speeds pick up to about 20 miles an hour. That said, the trip in from Wilsonville is still pretty thick. Last check, 45 minutes now to get in from Wilsonville Road to downtown. Some of the other drive times, the inbound Sunset, really thick at Sylvan. That is a 40-minute ride right now to get in from Hillsborough. And last but not least, up into North Portland. Actually, the I-5 drive, the end of the line has made its way to the Interstate Bridge, but from there, it's slow and steady the rest of the way down to town. Right now, 32 minutes Main Street to I-405. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. The government shutdown is impacting some of the busiest airports in the country, and that could mean delays for anyone flying this month, especially with the Thanksgiving travel rush just a few weeks away.
The FAA and the Department of Transportation just announced that they are making cuts to the flights due to a growing number of traffic controllers calling out, and PDX is on the list of airports affected. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has the latest.
Federal officials announced the cuts Wednesday afternoon, saying the move would likely lead to roughly 3,500 to 4,000 flights being impacted daily. Now, the FAA has already been delaying flights at some airports because of the widespread staffing shortages. Beginning Friday, the Federal Aviation Administration will reduce air traffic by 10% at 40 busy airports, citing growing fatigue among air traffic controllers who have worked without pay since the government shutdown began on October 1st. And most have been on duty 6 days a week while putting in mandatory overtime. And as the shutdown continues, those staffers will miss their second full paycheck next Tuesday. But some travelers say they understand the predicament traffic controllers are in, and they're also frustrated by the news.
I honestly, if it wasn't my birthday and I didn't really want to go somewhere, I wouldn't fly. So I'm not going to be flying after this for a very long time, honestly.
Seattle, Tacoma, San Diego, and San Francisco international airports are also included on that list that are set to have reductions beginning on Friday. Back to you.
And new this morning, 3 adults and 3 dogs are out of their Hillsborough home after a fire this morning along Northeast Evergreen Road. They called 911 around 4 a.m. when their smoke detector went off, and then they found flames in their living room. Hillsborough fire and rescue crews were able to put the fire out and make sure all people and pets got outside safely. The cause of the fire is under investigation.
A Portland City Councilor is trying a new tactic when it comes to the city's ICE facility and any other facility like it that opens up in the future.
Councilor Angelita Murillo wants to make landlords of detention facilities pay a fee if they disrupt the neighborhood. The city would decide the fee amount based on the impact. Councilor Murillo cited the tear gas and pepper spray used by federal agents at the ICE building in South Portland as an example.
This will mitigate some harm because if you are a landlord that's choosing to profit off of the expansion of detention facilities, then you are creating a unique harm in the community that has to be addressed.
It appears that this fee would only apply to new landlord contracts, not those that currently exist. It also would not apply to government-owned buildings. And the money collected would go towards cleanup efforts, police overtime, even helping residents and businesses relocate. You can watch our full report, including reaction from those who have been protesting at the ICE building, in our newest episode of The Story with Blair Best. It's available right now on our free TV streaming app, KGW+.
In Washington County, commissioners are pushing out hundreds of thousands of dollars this week to help families all across the county.
The money will support immigration services and help families struggling from reductions to SNAP benefits. So Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us here in the studio. Thomas, what are the specifics for this funding?
Yeah, well, guys, $200,000 in that funding will be used to support immigration services. Funding will go to organizations that help families contact detained family members. Washington County Commissioner Jason Snyder says money will also be used to document detainments and ensure immigration officers follow due process. Snyder says funding will go out as soon as possible. He expects organizations to receive the money within the next 2 weeks.
Well, the County Commission has really concluded that there appears to be a concerted effort to really maximize the suffering of the most vulnerable members of our community overall, and we felt it was really important to act on that.
Washington County also allocated $250,000 from its reserves to boost up local food banks. The money will allow pantries and food banks to add more food as demand surges as SNAP benefits continue to be reduced. Clackamas County authorized $100,000 last week for basically the same thing, to provide food for people in need. County officials there say they have reached out to the state of Oregon as well to encourage the governor to backfill federal SNAP benefits that were lost.
Right when it hit, it just exploded, and it felt like a bomb dropping on our car.
Yeah, it was a ride home from church on I-5 this past Sunday that a local family will never forget. Turns out a piece of concrete came off the viaduct connected to the Morrison Bridge in downtown Portland and fell right onto Enrique Ruiz's car. His wife and kids were also with him at the time. It left a huge dent in the hood. You see it right there, just inches away from the windshield.
I don't know, man. The good thing is we were on our way back from church and something was watching over us, because this is a millisecond time.
Multnomah County manages the Morrison Bridge, so the county says it appears that this is the first time this has happened. They say the pieces that fell off were not structural. They also say the overpass is safe, but crews will be out inspecting the bridge tomorrow and removing any other loose sections.
A Washington man has pleaded guilty to damaging a substation in Clackamas 3 years ago. In 2022, investigators say Nathaniel Cheney and others caused $26,000 in damage to the Sunnyside substation. Cheney pleaded guilty to one count of damaging an energy facility, which carries a maximum of 5 years in prison, a $250,000 fine, and 3 years of supervised release. As part of the plea deal, he's agreed to pay full restitution.
Chris McGinnis has agreed to give us a traffic report here. You go.
I will do that. Hey, let's take you over to Sunnyside where it's not sunny. Yeah, it's a lot of rain on the camera lens right now. Actually, this is just north of Sunnyside near Johnson Creek Boulevard, and the slowing starts back around the Milwaukee Expressway. So we've got about 4 miles of some pretty thick traffic from there up to the Banfield. I-84 then is still pretty thick as well coming in from the Gateway District. 33 minutes total from Troutdale. And here's the live look in North Portland. The end of the line from Clark County has made its way to the Interstate Bridge, but once you get there, it's like that the rest of the way into town. So we're still slow and go there. Speaking of I-5, again, a reminder, I-5 south of town closes overnight tonight. There's a 6-hour closure both directions of I-5 between the Markham Bridge, I-405, and Terwilliger. ODOT doing some sign bridge installation tonight. That means the closure is, again, 6 hours both directions. You're going to want to use Barber Boulevard to get around that. There are additional closures coming up later in the month. The next one, I believe, is on November 17th. We will be sure to alert you to that when we get closer. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Still ahead, the holiday season is fast approaching. We have a look at some of the things to look out for in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Hey, you know I'm here to save you money every day, and we test a lot of products. We leave the rejects over here. We only send you the best. And this is going to save you some serious money at the dentist. Teeth whitening can cost hundreds, like north of $600. You can do this for a fraction of the price. This is from Pure Sonic. It is their LED teeth whitening solution. The LED part is what makes it go so fast. They say it goes 10 times faster than going to the dentist, and it's a lot cheaper too. They give you the gel. They give you this tray. You literally just turn on the LED light and put it into your mouth like this, and I'll do it for you. Keep it in there for 30 minutes. You're already going to see results. 7 days, you're going to get the results that you want for your teeth whitening. Now, there's another product they have too. It's these teeth whitener pens. This is pretty cool. You just twist it and some gel comes out. Perfect for the road. Perfect if you have headshots or a business meeting. You literally just dry your teeth and then paint it on, and it's instantly going to make your teeth a bit wider. All right, so you have that. And then the other thing you have is this water flosser, rechargeable with the USB. You just turn it on like that, and it works. And there are 3 speeds. 25% off each of these products. You can buy 1, you can buy 3. It's 25% off. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Holiday season, toy drive season. It's happening now here at KGW as we look inside the KGW Great Toy Drive toy box. We have toys, but we get greedy this time of the year. We want more. So if you can help us out, we ask you to do so a number of different ways. One of them very easy. Just hop online, go to kgw.com/toy. You can donate cash on that page and let us do the toy shopping for you. Or if you'd rather buy toys yourself, you can drop them off in person at these locations. Any local IQ credit union, any local Toyota dealership, or any local Fred Meyer. Oh,
We have more to get to.
we're not done with the show?
No, keep it going.
Want me to keep going right now?
Go ahead, you do.
Before we get to Christmas, we have to talk about Thanksgiving.
Jeremy Roth has more on the new balloons that will be flying in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In this morning's, take a look at this.
Everyone have a good Halloween? Great! Moving on! Thanksgiving is up next, so no time like the present to start all that holiday hoopla and hullabaloo. What can I say? Americans love a good holiday, and we have such short attention spans we can't even finish, "Hey, cool, Buzz Lightyear!" What was I saying? Oh, right. Macy's lifted the veil on their annual Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon lineup to give a first look at some brand new balloons that will be flying high over one of the Big Apple's biggest celebrations. WCBS reports the preview went down, or should I say up, at the annual Balloon Fest event in New Jersey. Volunteer handlers did a test float of kooky new characters including Mario, Shrek, Buzz Lightyear, and Pac-Man. Speaking of characters, the Ohio State University got right to the point, breaking a pointy hat world record of sorts, and they did it all for their beloved mascot, Brutus Buckeye. For Brutus's birthday, nearly 2,000 people met in a university gym to attempt a world record for the largest gathering of people wearing conical party hats. Oh, it's a record, all right. And according to the Guinness judges that were on hand, it's now OSU's record. The gathered 1,924 hat-wearing students, faculty, and supporters were more than enough to break the previous record held since 2019. Finally, this last one may not be a record, but I'm going to go on the record and say this crazy double lotto winning story is one of the weirdest you may have heard. According to the Ohio Lottery, a Roseville man that had already won $50 on a best of 7 scratch-off forgot his winning ticket at home when he went to cash it in, so just for kicks, he decided to buy another best of 7 ticket and ended up winning $500,000 on the spot. 7 is certainly one lucky number for this charmed player, who's now $500,000 plus $50 richer. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
You guys ever get good luck like that?
No.
Rod, on the weather deck, you ever have good luck like that? Good fortune?
In fact, you know what happens when you stand, this is bad luck. You know what happens when you stand under a beautiful cover, but the sides aren't covered with like tarps or anything, and it's kind of windy? You know what happens?
You get wet.
Yes, you get wet. I'm up here in the KGW weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. Our cover is beautiful. It's just that we're getting some occasional winds and it's blowing the rain around. So let's get you to the forecast out the door. I think when we look back in a lot of ways, today's rain pattern will be very similar to yesterday, but the headlines are it's not going to be as windy, still noticeably breezy, but instead of gusts to about 40 in the valley, we think south gusts to about 25 or 30. Similar rain totals and pattern overall all the way into this evening. Lower thunderstorm threat. We had those strikes come in yesterday afternoon along the north coast and up into Long Beach. Mild temperatures continue, about 60 for high, and snow levels continue to be above Cascade Pass level today, so it's just wet. Timberline at 6,000 feet has picked up a couple inches of snow. Well, the first time we've seen the lightning box up, I'm going to assume, I don't know this because this popped up since I left to come up here to the deck, but I'm going to assume the strikes are underneath that box graphic you see on the top left offshore from Washington. But you can see, definitely here on the west side, not through the gorge, it is raining. Now, so far, we've had, more gentle rain than not, but there are some heavier rain pockets that have been rotating through Portland this morning already as well. So I mentioned rain-wise, very similar pattern to yesterday. A mix of dry time and then passing rain, some heavier rain pockets mixed in. You'll notice the flags blowing in the south wind and at time the leaves being scattered off of the trees. Now, the next weather system is the one that comes in late this afternoon, early evening. So here's 6 p.m. It's still pretty wet. But then after that system passes overnight, look what happens. The number of showers decreases drastically, really. And tomorrow, a few scattered showers linger, and that's it. And then eventually, here's late tomorrow, the rain chance is gone. It's out of here. And for the first time in a month, we will have a dry weekend. How about that? Temperatures in the 50s currently right now. I mean, it's mid-50s in Portland, Salem, Kelso, and Eugene. So, yeah, temperature is not an issue whatsoever. Very comfortable. To the coast forecast we go. South winds today still could be gusting to about 40. We're seeing some 30-plus mile-per-hour winds on the beaches right now. And then the valley forecast, as I mentioned, peak winds closer to 30 than 40 today, with temperatures approaching 60 degrees, depending on when we get those dry breaks in the afternoon or not. Tomorrow, it's showers ending, and really not that many of them left before they end. And then there's your dry weekend. Now, there is the chance of a touch of rain Saturday morning, mainly along the coast that we're watching. But overall, the weekend looks to be dry. Sunday, mainly sunny. Shower chances pick up going into the first part of next week. All right, let's go from the deck to our birthday party. And our birthday celebration on this rainy Thursday begins with Elliot, who is 6 today. Happy birthday to you. And there's Riley, turning 8 today. Hope you have a great time with your friends and family and birthday cake and all that. Sabrina's 32 today. Happy birthday. Also celebrating on this Thursday is Christina, 59, here in the Rose City. Pretty picture there. And also celebrating today, 66 is Kathy. Happy birthday to you. And we've got one more, 69 today. Cindy, happy birthday. Looks like a great family pick there. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we'll celebrate with you. Let's go to our traffic reporter, who I'm told is completely dry.
I'm quite happy to be in studio right now, although I'm glad the roof of that weather deck is keeping you mostly dry this morning. All right, the drive time still needs some work. Inbound on the Sunset, nearly 40 minutes from Hillsborough. Here's the live look right now out near Murray Boulevard. It's actually pretty slow both directions. Not only that, but the drive coming in from the south is also not so great. I want to switch gears real quick and show you I-5 through the 205 interchange. This is down in Tualatin. It looks like the rain has picked back up again. So slow and steady on that side of town, not only with the traffic, but the rain now coming down a little more so than it has in the last little while. It's 45 minutes in from Wilsonville at last check. And we're still slow through North Portland to the tune of about 30 minutes bridge to bridge. That's from the Interstate Bridge to the Fremont. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, a man is in custody after police say he was running around naked and armed with a handgun in Northeast Portland. An officer spotted him in the Lloyd district. They say that they heard a gunshot and then the man took off running. One officer hit the suspect with a patrol vehicle, knocking him to the ground, but then he got back up and kept running. Officers eventually used a taser on the man, took him into custody. Police say a gun was recovered at the scene. The FAA says it plans to cut 10% of flights at dozens of airports across the country, including PDX and SeaTac, as soon as tomorrow to account for staffing shortages as the government shutdown continues. And Washington County commissioners have granted hundreds of thousands of dollars in funds to support immigration services and help families impacted by SNAP reductions. Commissioner Jason Snyder says the money will go out as soon as possible. The organization is expected to receive funds within the next 2 weeks. The county has also allocated $250,000 from its reserves to boost local food banks.
And your 7-day forecast, it is raining out there right now and enough wind that you can find yourself getting quite wet. 60 the high, occasional shots of rain continue into the evening. But by tomorrow morning, we think it's calm. There's only a few scattered showers around. Later in the day, all dry. For the first time in the month, your weekend looks to be dry both days.
We still have some work to do on the roads. Leading the way in the upper right-hand part of your screen, that's I-5 through the 205 interchange in Tualatin. And at the lower right, that's the trip on the Banfield. Boy, it looks like it's gotten wetter out there in the last few minutes, Rod.
Yes, it has.
From Troutdale now 35 minutes, 45 minutes from Wilsonville, and 30 minutes from Vancouver on I-5. That drive time from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge.
Is wetter better? I say not on the roads, right? All right, before we go, one last story this morning. A look at this year's New York City Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. This is the Norway spruce as it's leaving its birthplace in upstate New York. The 75-foot tree is scheduled to arrive at Rockefeller Center this Saturday. They're going to drape it with more than 50,000 multicolored LED lights, and then we'll top it off with a Swarovski star. The tree will be lit during a live broadcast on December 3rd. Can I ask, don't say anything yet, China and Chris. Rod, do you know what I was talking about when I said a Swarovski star?
I'm assuming it's an extra bright star.
But you never heard of that, right?
I don't know.
Nor had I. And I was educated by Chris in China, who told me it's something that I should have seen in the mall, but I'm telling you, I never heard of that. Swarovski?
Yeah. I have a Swarovski necklace. I have a Swarovski.
Oh, it's a brand?
It's like I don't know. It's like a crystal or something.
Yes.
It basically looks like bootleg diamonds. It's very pretty and shiny,
Bootleg
affordable.
You've heard of it too.
Not to that extent.
I had to ask, what the heck does Swarovski mean?
You can get like a giant diamond necklace for like $150
Okay.
instead of
A
like
bootleg.
$1 grand.
Bootleg diamond.
That's what I say.
That is how we put the Swarovski star on the Sunrise Show this morning. Thanks for watching. I learned something today. Hopefully you did too. We're back here tomorrow morning to wrap up the week. Hope to see you then.
I learned about bootleg diamonds.